maintaining this unit, this HRV unit, there's 7 steps that you as the homeowner need to walk through and need to understand, okay, as we're going through this. And that. The first step in doing this when we come into the unit is to make sure that it's unplugged. Because if it's not unplugged and there's power going through it, there's a fan in there, there's blades onto it, it could turn on. All of them have a safety on them, but sometimes they may stick if they haven't been cleaned properly or that. The second thing that we would do then is we would take the door. The door on all units will come right off to make it, because if you try to hold it up and sit it on your head to work on it, it doesn't work. So all you got to do is give the door a little shot like that. It comes off, you stand it aside. Now here's the unit. The fans I talked about, there's one right there, and there's one up here. That's the fan blades that I talked about. This is the safety switch. So when the door's off, this machine won't run. So like I said before, if the machine hasn't been cleaned very often, this will stick. So you take the door off, the machine's still running. So this is how we can test it later on. You could use that to test it later on to see to it that everything is going to work. So the next step that you would do is you would take these filters. These little knobs on here always are to the outside, okay? That's what comes against the door. So this filter here isn't in too bad a shape. This unit here has been cleaned, but this is the contrast in them is this. This particular one here was in a house that was 5 years old, and the people didn't even know that they had an HRV or what it did. So as you can see, there's quite a difference in them. This is pretty nasty, and this is, if there's any air getting into the house at all, it's pretty nasty stuff, and it's not cleaning the air like it's designed to do. So the easiest thing to do, you can do 2 things. You could wash this out, but when you wash it out, this gets wet. It's a sponge basically, and if you put it back in, it'll clog up really quick. So what we would do with this is I prefer to see them vacuumed out. So a small vacuum like this, or the shop vac that you have at your house, and you just vacuum it out like that. One of the tests that you can do after you get it done is hold it up to the light. If you hold it up to the light, you can see daylight through it. When you can see daylight through it, you know it's nice and clean. Now it can be replaced. This is step 3. In a house this size where you got all of that ductwork and you're going so far from one end to the other, you want as much fresh air coming in as you can get. So the thing with these ones here, when they're new or when it's warm, don't try this in the winter time because it doesn't work. But all you do with them is you just shove them aside and they come right off. This is the grill here that you want to make sure is clean. In the summertime, you're cutting grass with the lawnmower. If you've got this running, it's sucking the grass in there. Leaves start blowing around in the fall. They'll get caught in here and stuff like that. So you just want to make sure that all of this stuff is cleaned off before you start doing any maintenance. So air is going into this one, and in this one here, when the machine is running, air comes out of this one. It's blowed out of this one, and so the filter, there's a screen in this one also, but it doesn't ever get filled up because air is blowing out through it, so it never sticks into it. So you take this off, you clean this up, and then you can put this back on again. It just snaps back into place like that. Now you've cleaned the outside hoods. Now you can go inside and proceed with the rest of your cleaning of the HRV unit itself. And step 4 of your HRV maintenance would be to check this condensate line. What this does is in the wintertime, this will get frost on it. This core will get frost onto it. When the unit goes into defrost mode, of course, frost is water. It'll melt that water out and it'll run down these 2 pipes here and it'll run out. It's very important to check to make sure that it has this loop in it. All you need to do is pull it off of the bottom like that, and there's a line. This black sediment that's in here is what you want to wash out. like that. As you can see, it's caught in this trap. This is the same trap as what would be like underneath there. And then you just shake that back and forth. And when that's done, you just bring it back over and you hook it back up again. And that's the completion of step 4. Step 5, we're going to clean the heat exchange core. I'll show you how to do that. It's quite a simple process. We just pull it out of the unit like this. What this does is the cold air comes in, and it goes through here, goes up through this side, and goes on. The stale air from the building comes down here, goes up through here, out through here. So what happened? The inside of this core, they never really, one flow of air is going this way, the other flow of air is going this way. So this just heats up the cold air, it warms up the cold air that's coming in, hence HRV, heat recovery ventilator. So it's recovering the heat from the air that is taken out. So we take it out like this, and the first thing that we do is we hold it up to a light. We hold it up to a light to see light through it. So that one's not too bad a shape. And then we turn it a quarter turn, and there again the same. Now this one is the side where was coming in, so it's in. So that's the side that we'll vacuum that. There's 2 ways that this can be cleaned. One of the things, we never put air in this. Never. Everybody says, oh, I got a little compressor, I'll blow that out. Don't ever do that, because these are so fragile that you'll ruin the insides of it. The other thing you can do, if you can't see through it, it's plugged up. So you fill a laundry tub or a garden hose. Laundry tub is the best. You can put soap into it, and what you do is you take it this way, like that, and you just up and down, turn it over like that, up and down in the water, wash the water through it, give it another quarter turn, up and down like that, turn it a quarter turn again, up and down. Then you have to set it on something this way, let it drip dry. Then turn it this way, set it on something, let it drip dry. Before we install this back in, we need to make sure that the inside of it is cleaned out. So what we do then is regular dish soap, a little bit of water, and give it a washing down. The first thing on the other side here, if there's anything loose in there, you can vacuum it out first, and then wash it out. And you would wipe the whole inside of it down. You could, as you can see, there's a lot of dust on there. Just give the whole inside a good cleaning. It really doesn't have any difference in the workings of your machine, but what it does is it keeps any particles or any bacteria that's in there from being put into the air if you keep the inside of this thing clean, because it can, stale water lies, it can create some bacteria of some kind and go into be put into the air. So it's a good thing to give it a really good wiping down, and then you can just again wipe it with a paper towel. And once that's done, then you can put it back in. Very easy to put back in. As you can see on the end, there's an arrow. That part goes up. You take this and you set it in the track like that on the bottom, and you tip it up onto the top track like that, and it just slides into place. Now we've cleaned the core and everything, and it's back in and ready to go. This is step 6. There's in this particular setup, the way this HRV is set up, it's got a pickup in the bathroom. This is picking up stale air, taking it back to the machine. So there's one in the bathroom. This is what we call a grease trap in the kitchen. And all it does is it pulls down, this opens up, and there is a filter in here that comes out This one here, we just take hot water and we run this under hot water, and it will, because it's grease and it's hot water, it will wash the. You can see there's quite a bit of stuff coming off of it there. So when you're done and gone, that's what it should look like. It's nice and clean and everything like that. So now we can get some air through it. This one's a whisper vent, and all we do with it is we'll pull it, if we can pull it right out. See, like that. And this one's not in too bad a shape. This is how you adjust it. Pull it out like that. So again, you know, this one here, you'd just, this one here you could just give a wiping to inside like that. Or again, if you had your vacuum cleaner, you could vacuum, and it's this one here is just dust, okay? This is picking up the steam out of here when you're taking a bath or a shower. This one here is picking up steam. That's all that it's doing. So that's how we clean a whisper vent. And now all we do is we just take it, and the inside of this duct is pretty clean. They've used some really good parts on these. On this particular one, and you just take it and set it under and shove it back in place. And that's cleaned and maintained. Okay, step 7 is we would take a look at the fans and see how much is on them. These fans are, again, is a pretty good. So you would get a small brush like this. This happens to be a small metal brush, but you could use a small toothbrush, and you would just scrape up and down like that in there to get the fans cleaned out. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff coming up. And then you would just take the vacuum cleaner and vacuum out what and then the other one is up here. You need to do the very same thing with this one up here. Now that we've got all this cleaned up and everything, we can replace our filters. And remember what I said, this dot always stays out. So there's our one filter. This is our other filter going in over here with the dot out like that. We would replace the door. So again, get our door lined up. Secure it in place, and always remember to plug the unit back in, and now it's ready to turn on and operate. You can there's the unit back in operation now. First of all, when they're installed, they need to be balanced. An HRV that's not balanced, I recommend to the people that they don't bother turning them on. Because if they're bringing in too much air, they're bringing in cold air, your heating bill goes up. If they're taking out too much air, it's sucking all the heat out of the house, heating bill goes up.
A lot of people think that with this HRV running, it's chilling their house down, or it's costing them a lot more in fuel to heat the house back up as the HRV brings the temperature down. That's not true.
The benefits of maintaining your HRV, number one, is you're going to get nice fresh air for your family. Your family is going to be able to live with nice fresh air in the house.